How dumb am I? I honestly thought I wouldn't be making a video about the new update. But if I've learned anything from playing Pokemon TCG Live for over a year now, it's that you can't expect things to go as planned. I'm getting a little afoot of myself. Something unexpected every player received on Tuesday was some free crystals and credits. While it isn't explicitly said to be the compensation we were promised in December, I have to assume it is. Instead of saying, "We're sorry Live was unplayable for 2 weeks in December," they thanked us for our patience and understanding during the beta while they worked on improving the game. Again, the word compensation isn't used, but I'm going to mark this down as compensation delivered 2.5 months after it was originally promised. Let's look at the compensation for a second. They gave us 2,000 crystals and 2,100 credits. The crystal amount is decent. The premium battle pass is currently 600 crystals, so definitely buy that to get the Eternatus VMAX deck at tier 0 and the Mew VMAX deck at tier 25. Additionally, you'll want to buy either the Celebration 6-pack bundle for 1,120 crystals, or the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX or Mew VMAX lead battle deck for 1,250 crystals each. Celebrations is the best way to credit farm, assuming you have 4 copies of every card in the set. Otherwise, the Shadow Rider deck is great because you already own most of the cards from the free version given by default. And Mew VMAX is good because Mew VMAX is a great deck. Just be aware that the arts in the premium Battle Pass version of Mew VMAX are different from the arts in the Elite Battle Deck version. Confusing, I know. As for the credits, 2,100 isn't a lot. 1 copy of any V-Star or VMAX runs you 1,025 credits, so you can only craft 2. Or if you want a gold card, which costs 2,000 credits, you can only craft 1. It's hard not to be disappointed with the amount, considering this is basically them apologizing for all of the issues we experienced throughout the beta. But I guess something is better than nothing, which should be the tagline for TCG Live. Before I talk about the new update, I want to go back in time to December. When Live was unplayable due to the game-breaking Mew VMAX Elisa's Sparkle bug, the developers said, "When things stabilize, we will ensure everyone in the game is well compensated for the troubles experienced during this time." That was December 10th. Then on December 22nd, they added, "We appreciate your patience while the team determines an impactful amount that matches the issues experienced in the last month." It took them more than 2 months to determine that an impactful amount was 2k crystals and 2k credits. I mean, I could have done that in 2 minutes. In all honesty, whenever people asked me what I thought the compensation would be, I just said that it would be disappointing. Thanks to my vast experience with Live, I was able to predict the future on that one. Okay, I've teased you long enough. Late on February 27th, the Pokemon TCG Live devs announced that an update would be released on February 28th. Hisuian Zoroark and Galarian Slowking V would finally be unbanned after more than 2 months. You'd be able to turn off the game board background effects, and they fixed an issue where the purple bubbles of doom caused by the poison effect would be lessened. After downloading the update though, the most notable change at first is this weird new blank screen that appears before and after every single match. I hate it with a passion. It probably has something to do with reducing the amount of resources Live takes up when going in and out of a match, but it doesn't change the fact that it's one of the most annoying things I've ever witnessed. Moving on, the board effects. I'll get the good out of the way first. You can turn them off. Realistically, this option just reverts Pokemon TCG Live back to what it looked like before the January 24th update, where a short little animation plays when you promote a Pokemon, then it disappears, giving you the basic board to look at. If you experienced issues after the January update where the darkness board would make the game nearly unplayable, this is the fix you've been looking for. Why this toggle wasn't implemented on day 1 along with the new boards, I have no idea. But still, this is an improvement nonetheless. Just keep in mind that the option is only available in the main menu, not in the actual battle menu. Now the bad. You probably could have guessed it by now. Instead of giving us new features or anything we've been asking for since February 2022, the developers spent a lot of their time this past month redoing the board effects. Yes, a month after giving us the board effects, they decided they actually suck and redid some of them. I won't bore you by going through every single one individually, so here are 2 of them, Psychic and Lightning. The Psychic board now has this flippy thing happening whenever a Psychic type is promoted, while the Lightning one is completely different. Personally, I prefer these new ones over the old ones, but it doesn't change the fact that a functioning game is more important than board effects that most people want turned off anyways, yet the developers keep changing the aesthetic of Live every single month. As for those status effects, Poison looks completely different. Instead of purple bubbles floating into the air, now it's more of a toxic effect with those purple bubbles barely extending past the card. I still think the added effects for status effects are unnecessary when the poison marker exists, but it's still better than what it was. What's funny is that they fixed the giant purple bubbles for poison, but the giant Zeds when a Pokemon is asleep still remain. So they fixed an issue with gigantic status effects for one effect, but not the other. Because it's Pokemon TCG Live, a new update has to break something. Several months ago, they introduced a bug where if you had game audio turned completely off, you'd get a full volume noise when a status effect was triggered. Now, when a metal-type Pokemon is promoted, it forces a sound to be played, even if every in-game setting is set to 0. It's as annoying as you think it is. They also fixed an issue with audio missing for game board effects. Since I play with the sound off, I never noticed it, but what they replaced it with isn't very good. Some of them, like the dragon sound, are fine, but the psychic one is horrible. If you didn't play live with the sound effects turned off before, you will now. It's that bad. There's a lot of other stuff I discovered with the update, so let's go through it rapid strike style. The bug where Fusion Strike energy stops Skyseal Stone from taking an extra prize is still there. The bug where Rayquaza does damage based on the total number of energy and not the total number of different energy is still there after several months. The deck search bug where you can't select a certain Pokemon is still there after several months. I experienced this one in a game where I prized 3 Comfey and Live wouldn't let me get the only one in my deck. The Battle Pass bug where you have to restart the game to access it is still there after several months. The bug where Pokemon with abilities won't become highlighted even though you can use their abilities is still there after several months. The bug where you have to transfer all of the energy when using Hisuian Arcanine V because the done button disappears too quickly is still there, and computer search is still listed as a Pokemon after more than a year. New bugs include Zoroark asking you to select the same Pokemon twice when you want a Phantom transformation into it, and the daily quest of placing Pokemon V down is bugged, so you have to swap it with something else if you get it. Basically, the update designed to fix the issues with the previous update ended up introducing new issues that will have to be fixed in the next update. And not to worry all of you, but the next update probably won't be until March 28th or so when they add Scarlet and Violet base set, as well as standard format rotation, the tool card errata, and silver borders for all of those Scarlet and Violet cards. And don't forget that Scarlet and Violet isn't coming to PTCGO, so March 30th will also be the busiest day in TCG Live history, and we saw just a few weeks ago that the servers can't keep up with the added stress. What could possibly go wrong? My favorite part of the February 28th update is that it didn't fix the glitch where you can take prize cards out of their sleeves and finger them, so you still have something to do during your opponent's turn. For unmentioned things that were fixed, you can scroll through the discard pile again. You couldn't do that for the past month. Also, cards won't randomly become highlighted regardless of whether they're playable or not. Additionally, and I think this is a fix, but my beautiful purple Chansey coin is now pink. It's listed in the game as pink, so I think this means it was bugged for a year and the developers finally changed cosmetics that were purple to pink. Regardless, I am immeasurably upset. A new bonus feature is that you can use the scroll wheel on your mouse to scroll through the discard pile. Not only that, you can also use the scroll wheel for the mulligan screen, but it's impossibly slow and takes about 100 thrusts of your finger to see anything. Unfortunately, you still can't use the scroll wheel for deck searches. I'm definitely a little burnt out when it comes to making videos about Live and how even when they try to fix it, they still manage to make other things worse. So I'll end the video here. I'd much rather be making a video about how Live is finally everything we hope for, but that's probably years away. To try to balance out the negativity, I will mention that it's nice to log into Live and not have a warning message tell me a card is banned. I honestly can't remember the last time I was able to just log into Live. It's so refreshing. Keep in mind that everything mentioned in this video was only discovered in the stream immediately after the update, so I'm sure lots more is lurking in Live's undercarriage. If you've spent time deep inside Live and found something you think everyone should know about, leave it in the comments below.